Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Bonny and welcome to Bonny Beauty Hub. Alright, so the first product I'm going to try is the ByTerry Brightening CC Serum. This CC Serum has been in the market for a really long time and I've heard so many good things about it. This has 87%. It is infused with skincare ingredients. They have the optimal glow technology which blurs your imperfections. It gives you a very smooth finish. And this is a CC serum that can be used as a primer. This has a lot of skincare ingredients in it. I bought it in the shade Apricot Glow. This comes in 4 shades. This is the shade number 3. And first let's see the texture, how it is. Okay, it's very liquidy. If you can see, it's very liquidy. Blended it into my skin and look at the glow it gives me. So this can be used as a primer and this can also be used over your foundation. My fingers are absolutely clean, so I'm going to first let me just push back my hair as I always do. Alright, so I'm just taking one pump. Okay, this is one pump. I'm gonna rub it with my fingers. This is the way I normally like to do it. And I'm blending it into my skin. Wow, it is not oily at all and it is getting into my skin so easily. I can feel, because it's just like skincare. So it's not, I don't feel the product on top of my skin. So I can feel that it has gone into my skin. So it is just like how skincare works, but it still gives me a beautiful glow on my skin, if you can see that. Let me do one more pump, right? The more, the merrier. So I'm gonna layer it and see how it looks. Wow, I love the glow that it's giving me skin. So number 3, this specific shade is to brighten your skin. If you have a dull complexion, it would brighten your skin a bit. The number 4 is to give you a bronzy glow. Number 1 and number 2, that is again to brighten your skin because it has the pink undertones in it. But I wanted the peachy undertone and I am loving it. I love that I chose this color. This does not have any color pigments in it, so it's not going to cover up any of your acne scars. But if you just want a subtle glow on your skin and you want something that has skincare ingredients in it, this does not have SPF, am I correct? Yes, it doesn't have SPF. It's just a glowy base, but it's a glowy base with skincare ingredients. So if you use a normal primer, it is just working with the foundation as a barrier. However, this is a primer, but at the same time, it's working on your skin as well. It helps to brighten your skin as you keep using it. All the ByTerry products, they are infused with rosehip oil and they smell like roses. When I tested my first ByTerry product, I'll link that foundation video in the description box below. I was a little bit skeptic because I don't use anything that has a lot of fragrance in it because I have sensitive skin and I feel it breaks me out. But this, all of their products, they have the rose fragrance, but it does not break me out. So I'm using this for the first time, but as of now I feel really good. It's making my skin feel so soft. It keeps your skin hydrated for a really long time. It's just like any other normal skincare that you use, but with a little bit of makeup in it, right? So that is always good. So I love makeup that has skincare ingredients in it. So I haven't used any other primer. This is the only primer I'm using today. So after this CC cream, I'm going to use my ByTerry foundation. So I'm just going to do my foundation really quick and I'll be right back. Alright, so now that my full foundation is done, I use the foundation in the shade 500 Warm. That is for warm, medium, dark skin tones. So it's a perfect shade for me. Now, we're gonna see one of the stars of the show. So this is the ByTerry Hyaluronic Hydra-Concealer. I've been eyeing this product for a very long time. If you watched my videos before, you know I have really dark under eyes. So even when I use any concealer, I need a very hydrating concealer, but I also have certain lines under my eyes. So it should not be too hydrating that it creases under my eye. At the same time, I can't wear it too dry because it dries out my under eye. So for me to find that correct balance for my under eye, it's really tough. So there are very few concealers that I really love and I wear. So when they set this ByTerry concealer, it has hyaluronic acid, it blurs the imperfections, it gives you the correct amount of coverage to disguise the dark circles under your eyes, and it also gives you a slightly lifted effect. So all the promises that they had was so captivating, I had to give it a try. So I bought this in the shade medium. Yes, it's 400 medium. I love the brush over this. I've never used anything like this with this sort of brush. Let me see. Okay, the brush is very soft as well. This is a clicker. So let's see. I know when a product is new, you need to click 1,000 times. I was about to say you need to click 1,000 times for the product to come out. In 3 clicks, I had the product come out. So you have this much. So I don't know how much coverage this is going to give. So I'm just going to try to use a little bit. Okay. Wow. This is enough. And I'm going to take one more click. And there's a lot of product that comes out. Okay, so in this click there was more. So I'm going to use that everywhere that I normally highlight. Wow, I can feel it very creamy when I'm using it. I can feel it so creamy. Let me use it on my hand and see. Okay, right now if I see, I don't feel that there is too much coverage. I just blended it out and it doesn't look like a very bright shade for me. Maybe if I wanted a brightening effect, I should have bought one tone darker, but I'm still going to try this out. So let's see how easily this blends. So when I look into the mirror really close, it really gives me a smoothed effect. It is very hydrating. It is not settling in my fine lines. However, it's not giving me the coverage that a normal concealer, any of my concealers that I right now have, even the Wet n Wild Incognito concealer, one of my favorite drugstore concealer, that gives a lot more coverage than this one. Let us see if we can layer this concealer. So I know in one click we have a lot coming. So I'm just going to take a little bit here and here. Somewhere I feel I'm glad I got this color because I can use it for a no makeup day so that it matches my skin tone. But let's just layer and see if it is layering well. Alright, so I do have my... Okay, so surprisingly this is layering really beautiful. Normally with concealers, we know that concealer, they set really quick because that is what they do. This did set on my skin because I didn't see any creases, anything, but I was still able to layer it with another layer of the concealer. So yeah, it is a very unique formula. However, it is not giving the amount of coverage that I normally need. I might use this for my daily makeup as well because the amount of hydration it's giving me. When I touch it, I feel like my eye cream, the eye cream that I use, because I can feel it's so soft and supple under my eyes. I feel really good when I'm wearing it, but it doesn't give me enough coverage. So I might use this concealer, but I would use a little brightening one slightly just at the inner corners. Otherwise, I love the concealer, the way it's looking, the way it's blending. I'm able to layer it out. So I think it's a very good concealer for a no makeup day. But now let's move on to the next product. Alright, so I just did my eyebrows really quick. The next star product is the ByTerry, the Brightening CC Palette. This is a limited edition palette and this is what I got together. So this, I got it in a bundle. Look at the packaging, right? How pretty is that? It is so beautiful, and the colors, and the back is just like a mirror. So I can even look at my face over here in the back, but I'm sure they have a mirror inside as well. So they do have a mirror here. And these are the colors. It has a very cool toned pink. It also has a very warm toned peachy color. So you can, I love this type color for the winters. I love this color for the summer, spring. And this is a very peachy undertoned highlighter, and we have a warm toned bronzer. So the colors were so beautiful and they were speaking out to me, they were calling my name. So this palette also has a lot of skincare ingredients in it. It has rosehip oil, which keeps your skin hydrated, and rosehip oil is also good for anti-aging. I use rosehip oil all the time, especially in my nighttime skincare routine. It has the optical glow with microspheres, which again gives you the very polished look, a very smooth look. It blurs all the imperfections, the pores and so on. It also has color pigments, obviously, because we are using it as a blush and bronzer. We do need pigment, not like the CC cream. This does not have a lot of color pigments in it, and that is why it only gives us the glow, and it is really good for any skin types or skin tones. So I'm gonna take a small dome shaped brush, which I normally use for a bronzer, and I'm gonna take the bronzer shade over here. And yeah, I did not think that I would get so much pigmentation, but there is the pigment. So the moment of truth, I see the pigment. I don't know if it's catching on the camera, but I do see the pigment over here. Wow. And yes, it is a very warm toned bronzer, and I love the color. Does it have a name? They don't have names for these colors. It's just a bronzer, a pink blush, a peachy blush, and a highlighter. So this is normally where I bronze my face. So normally where the sunlight hits you, that is where you bronze your face. So I'm just doing it on one side so that I can show you the difference. So this is the side bronzed, and this is the side pale. Not bronzed, bronzed. Do you see the difference? And you can see it over here. So look at this forehead. It gives you an illusion. That's why you use a bronzer or a contouring. So it gives you an illusion of a smaller forehead, especially I have a very broad forehead. So when I use bronzer, it gives an illusion of a smaller forehead. So wow, I love this. It's a very subtle bronzer. Wow. Can you see the glow that it gives as well? And it has a very pretty sheen to it. I'm not sure if the camera would pick it up. So this is the swatch, and it has a very pretty sheen to it. And look at the pattern that it has. It's all patterned with roses in it, and that is so beautiful. And I've just dug into it. I used it really well, and it still has the pattern. I think my bronzer is done, but I'm going to use the same bronzer shade as a transition shade for my eyelids. So I'm just going to wipe out the concealer that it has and use it as a transition shade for my eyelid. Do you see the difference with this eye and this eye? So this has a little bit of transition, so my eyes look a little more contoured, a little more defined, wherein this eye doesn't have anything on it. And sometimes when I see such shades on my skin, I feel, oh my god, this is the perfect shade for my skin tone. And I'm so happy when I find such tones, and especially in a palette like this, because you have everything that you want. Other than an under eye setting powder, you have everything in it, and it's good to go. If you're traveling, these palettes are really good. So I'm gonna do the transition for my other eye, and I'll be right back. Okay, so one thing I wanted to call out here is, if you do not like the sheen on your transition shade, I normally use a very matte shade for my eye transition, but this has a beautiful sheen, and because I have texture on my eyelids, it's very clearly visible that you have these sparkly, a little bit of glow, but I think that's completely okay. Sometimes using a sheen, a very glowy transition shade is also good. I've never done that before, but today that I've used it and that the sheen is really visible, I like it. I'm not mad about it, but you need to blend it out really well. And if you have dry patches, make sure that your eyelid is really hydrated, because it has a sheen, and if the sheen catch holes to these dry patches, then they would look really awkward. So make sure your eyelid is really hydrated before you use these shades on your eyelid, otherwise it's perfectly fine. Alright, so now this is also done, so let's move to the blush. Alright, so I'm using a very clean brush today. So I'm very confused which shade to take. So with the dress that I'm wearing today, I know the peachy shade would go really well, but first let's see the swatches of these shades. Wow, this on my fingertip, it looks really pigmented. Wow, this peach is really pigmented. And let's see the pink as well. Wow, the pink is also pigmented. I'm so much drawn towards the peachy color, so, but I have to try the pink as well. I'm going for the peach. Alright, so I'm just dipping it. Wow, look at the pigmentation. So I'm going to tap off the excess. Wow, that's really beautiful. Oh my god. I would love to go for a monochromatic look because I would love to put this peachy color on my eyelids as well. Less is more, but if you know me, you know, I love blush. I love to overdo the glow all the time. I'm a highlighter girl and a blush girl. So it's never too much for me. Wow, and it's so... I'm just packing on the blush again and again and it still looks so subtle and pretty. Alright, wow. Yeah, wow. Do you see that? That is beautiful. So finally, we're going to test the highlighter. I have a really fluffy brush over here. Let's see how pigmented it is. Okay, so there's no much of a glow. Let me try it here. This is like a brightening powder. It's not like a blinding highlighter. I am a blinding highlighter kind of girl, but still let's try it out. It has a very... This one has a little bit of fallout, but not that much. So tap it off. Oh yeah, it does give a glow. This has a little of pigment to it. So it is giving me a glow, but it is also brightening. Wow. Alright, so something has just tricked my mind. So I want to try something that is going to be really crazy, but I want to do it. Okay, so now that the high points of my face have already highlighted, and it's not a blinding highlighter, the one that I normally like, but if you are a very subtle glow sign of person, this is going to be beautiful. I'm going to use the same brush, take a little bit, and you know what craziness I'm going to do? I'm going to use it on my under eyes. So because of the brightening effect it's giving, I want to see how it looks on my... Oh my god, that's dark. Okay, no, for my under eye it's dark. Okay, so now that I've already used it on my under eye, I did not use any other powder, so I'm going to use another powder. Alright, so that was a mistake. It's better that I tried it here. So this is not an under eye brightener, this is definitely a highlighter. It doesn't look very bad on my under eyes, it still gives me a very slight, a very light sheen to my under eyes, but I'm still going to use another under eye powder. So let me just do my under eye powder and I'll be right back. Now that my entire face makeup is done, I'm looking into the mirror and the viewfinder and I am loving the look. I love the way everything just blended together and the entire look came out. So let's talk about the products. So this Brightening CC Serum, this is a really good skincare product as well. So even if you don't want to do any makeup, you can just wear the CC Serum. It gives you a glow, it perfects your skin, it gives you a very smooth finish, it is equivalent to a primer, but it's not necessary for you to wear makeup on top of it. So it gives you a beautiful glow. It doesn't cover up any of your imperfections, but it does give you a very smoothing effect and very glowy skin. So this would go in my skincare shelf, so I would love to use this. This is really good. I love the way it looks on my skin and I don't feel sticky at all. I love this because I could feel it like a skincare product. I could feel it sinking into my skin rather than like a makeup product that would sit on top of your skin. So that is one of the reasons I'm liking this. I love the glow that it is giving on my skin. Yeah, it gave me a smoothing effect. So this is an absolute win-win for me. So yeah, so now that I have this in my hand, let me talk about this. I love this. This is totally worth it. It smells like roses. It is a beautiful smell. The fragrance is amazing. It is pure rose fragrance and I love the shades. I can wear it during the summers and the winters. It's a beautiful matched shade. The highlighter is something that it does give a brightening effect, but for a highlighter I would like to use something more than this. But yeah, the bronzer and blush itself gives you a beautiful sheen, a beautiful glow, so it's totally worth it. So this is an all-rounder palette. It's not a seasonal palette. It is limited edition, but I feel that this is a palette that you can use during the summers and winters. So I feel this is also a totally worth it buy. Now the main product that I wanted to review for a very long time, and I've been waiting for a very long time. It is slightly disappointing for me because I do have dark circles. Yes, I wear color corrector most of the time, but I was expecting for this to work a little more better. It gives me a very hydrating finish. It's not creasing my under eyes. However, it is not giving me the coverage that I want a concealer to give me. So my favorite is the Dior concealer from drugstore. It's the Wet n Wild Incognito concealer. I feel those work a lot better than these, and those are not expensive as this one. This retails for $45. So far I've never seen this come on sale, so I had to buy this full price, and it is slightly disappointing. But for a no makeup day, if you don't have a lot of under eye dark circles and you just want a very hydrating concealer, this is amazing. It gives you a very smooth effect. It blurs your imperfections. This is something that you can also use on your skin where you just need a little bit of coverage, not a heavy coverage. It's nowhere even close to the foundation because the foundation gives a beautiful coverage. I'm using just one layer of the foundation today and it gives me a beautiful coverage. So it is nowhere near to the foundation as well. So this is slightly disappointing. Other than I can use it for a no makeup day. The major work of a concealer is to give me coverage, and that is something that it doesn't give me. So this is slightly disappointing for me. So yeah, I love this collection. Not very sure about the concealer, but otherwise I'm glad I was able to review this for you, and I'm glad I found this because I've been eyeing this for a very long time. This is a cult favorite. Thank you so much for watching. If you like the review, make sure to hit the like button and also subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Thank you for watching till the end, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye!